haven't already, make a solo date. Even if you're married or, you know, you got something going on, like, there's nothing like being able to treat yourself, to be in your own solitude and be happy in your own solitude. That's very important. I grew up with, if the light is on, like, that's illegal. Who made that up? Is that like a thing that just happened growing up here in Richmond, Virginia, or is that like a all around the world type thing? Let me know. Do that like that. So yeah, I've done a mukbang on my channel and I didn't like it because I felt like I didn't eat, and I feel like when I get my food I want to eat. So I'm gonna do a car drive. I've been seeing the girls do this. I'm like, you know what, let me just go ahead and try it out, see what it gives, see what it does. But anywho, so I wanted to make this video because I was going to do a mukbang about my experience with my first solo date of 2026. So I ended up going to a live podcast. I've never been to a live podcast. So the host said it best. She was like, a lot of y'all are popping your podcast Virginity. And that's exactly what I did. So I went to the Mind Over Matter podcast. It was real cute. They're pretty cool. Like, it's a really good podcast. They talk about very insightful stuff, and everybody has something to stand on when it comes to conversation. They all have their own different personalities, but they really intertwining with it. But anywho, I went to college with one of the girls, even was in the gospel choir with her, so I knew her. And then the other three, I didn't really know much of them, but I've heard of them or just got to know them by going to the live podcast, and I really enjoyed myself. I ended up sitting beside one of the host mom, didn't even know it, and as we were talking, she was like, she came to support her son. Oh, that is so cute. Like, support your babies. I love that, because I'm a mom, so it's like I can only imagine like my pride and joy, you know, when I get to be able to see my daughter do the things that she decides to do and be able to support her. But anywho, it was at a restaurant here in Richmond called 6335. Never been there before, but I got some Rasta pasta. It wasn't bad. I made some very tart lemonade. I don't know who squeezed the lemons in that lemonade, but they did a little bit too much, okay? Just a little bit. But the podcast itself was good. It gave a realistic point of view of what people go through when they set up a podcast, because they were having some technical difficulties in the beginning. This was like mic checks, and it was just like, this is real, raw, uncut, and we love to see it, okay? Because everything on social media just is so put together, and it's like, that's cute and all, but like, did you go through something? And even if you didn't go through anything bad, like, did you have like a moment of preparation to get to that point? But the two topics in particular that we're talking about was unpopular opinions and grieving somebody that is no longer in your life. They're still here on this earth, but they're no longer in your life. And that was one to talk about, because Lord knows there are a lot of people, baby, God bless them, but they not in my life, okay? They somebody else blessing right now. But boy, we pray that they somebody else blessing. Something that really stuck with me during the podcast is I'm actually reading this book called The Bay of Satan. It's really good. It's really been reading me and holding me accountable to the healing that I say that I'm trying to be on. But in the book, it talks about how you cannot leave one situation bitter and upset and unhealed and expect for your next situation to look any differently. And they had a question very similar to that type of advice, and I really realized that I don't believe in closure. Like, I know for a lot of people, it's like, I need that final conversation. I feel like whatever that person did prior to you having to even want closure, that was your closure, because they showed their ASS, and that's all we need to see and hear. Overall, I definitely feel like for it to be my first solo date, I'm really proud that it was, because it was a very intimate setting. It was a good amount of people, but not too many to the point where I feel like I was overcrowded. I was so proud of everybody for going up on that stage and talking, because like, while we think like, well, that's simple, that's easy, well, everybody does it every single day, like they'll put up their camera like me and be, you know, talk about whatever, to do it in front of people and to be real, to be raw, and to accept that everybody may not agree with your opinion. Shout out to them. I'm so proud to have been able to support, especially black excellence, okay? But everybody held their own. They did their thing, and that's pretty much my recap. So I was wanting to take videos and pictures and all that stuff, but I realized that when I do my solo dates, I want to be immersed in the experience. I do wish I had kind of taken a notepad and like took notes about things that I really, really enjoyed and things I would want to further journal about or like talk about like with my friends. But I feel like overall, like, what I took from the experience was people sometimes just want to just be in community. It's not really about doing something spectacular or, you know, being unique. It's just about you being you and being around people who enjoy being them too, and you get to come together and y'all get to be y'all together. But I wanted to get this out before I go to Waffle House and get my motherfucking egg breakfast, because yes, it is 6 o'clock at night, but I like breakfast at nighttime, so that's what we're gonna do. I was not ready to do a mukbang because last time I did a mukbang on the state fair. If you have not already, go and run that, go run them views up. That was a really good mukbang. Even though I didn't eat, all I did was just muck or just bang. What is the definition of mukbang? But anywho, thank you for watching this video. If you made it to the end, if you did make it to the end and you have been on Soul Day so far in 2026, tell me what it was. If you haven't, give me an idea. If you have seen the podcast about over matter, or just been to any live podcast in general, what was your experience? Because mine was very much, I didn't know what to expect, and I think it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Just people just being them and having people there to support them in the process. And the I wills that I got from Mind Over Matter, just being in that particular space and just knowing that some people that were from my hometown don't feel like you have to have everything all together to start your idea, start your business, start your podcast. That's what you want to do. Know that it will come together when you start putting in the work. A lot of times we feel like we have to have A through Z together before we can even step into this the ideal of whatever you want to go into. But really, it's about you knowing that like it'll come if you put in the work. God bless y'all. I'm have a great night. I'm gonna go get my Waffle House.